Hi guys, this is week 22 Project Life and I am working with the gorgeous glass half full kit from Brandi, Kincaid and Feed Your Craft. Now this one's going to sell out quick, so if you haven't got yours already, I will leave a link for it down below. I know I say this every month, but this kit is by far my favorite, and I couldn't believe when I started working with the photos this week just how well the colors worked with my photos. So I am super stoked with the way this week turned out, and like I say, I am just loving this kit. I haven't been able to put it down since it arrived. So I've started with my photos as usual, and I've picked out a few cards. I didn't have many spots for the cards, and I have printed out and cut the cut apart sheet that comes with the kit. That's a digital element. I will leave the link up here to show you how I really easily do that in Photoshop and the Silhouette software, but you could just as easily print out the sheet and sit down with a pair of scissors and cut them all out by hand if you don't have a Silhouette. So I'm going to use these little embellishments all over this page, and I just started with my title card, which is this gorgeous spotty card, and I thought it looked like it had sort of two empty spots which looked perfect for my title and a tag, a label, like I always have my date stamps. So there was a circle label and this floral rectangle one, so I decided to grab the rectangle one. It filled up the space a little bit better and gives me room to stamp my two date stamps on there. And then I'm going to use the narrow alpha from Feed Your Craft to just stamp out week 22, just in some black ink in that little gap that's in the title card, which, like I said, perfect for a title of some sort, so that's what I'm going to put in there. Lately I've been cutting the tops off my stamp packaging, and that way I end up with a custom made little pocket to store my stamps in, which has been very handy. And from the Feed Your Craft shop, I also grabbed these gorgeous mermaid enamel dots, and I couldn't have picked any better colors to go with this kit. I didn't get them at the same time, but they worked perfectly. So I'm not doing tone on tone with those, I'm doing sort of tone next to tone. So I picked out 3 spots in the card, grabbed the enamel dots that matched, and then moved them off to the side. So just to add a tiny bit of embellishment to that title card. Now loved this Hope is a Habit card, and the blue worked perfectly with the 2 3x4 photos that are in the middle there. There were little spots of blue in both of them. And instead of doing a rose on each side, which I had initially thought I would do, I decided to make a cluster on one side of it. Even though the card is quite centered, I think this just helps to balance it out a little bit. The roses that I had already printed and cut were slightly too big for the gaps that were there, and I didn't really want to have to reprint anything at this point, so I just made it work. Now, I wasn't going to do anything to this quote card, but I decided I would add a few of these little enamel dots as well, just to bring the colour down to that bottom corner and also tie it into the rest of the page. Other than that, it was totally perfect. And now you're going to watch me faff about with all of these little die cut pieces, because I wanted something to fill in the sort of dead space on the side of this photo, and so many of them would have worked. It was difficult to choose. I really loved the florals, but in the end I felt they were a little bit too busy for the page. So I chose the circle label that I was going to use for my title card, and I'm going to add a couple of enamel dots again, although I do think these clear sheets are handy for actually testing the colours before you stick them down. Luckily I managed to peel off the one that just disappeared into the background and added a couple of extras. And then I'm going to start doing some stamping. Now, lots of these stamps are designed to fit into these elements, and this one fit perfectly into this little circle label. And then I'm going to add a few more. So there were just a few smaller word phrases that I'm going to add to the bottom of this photo. And then there were some teeny tiny little floral stamps. There's 2 different ones, and I was just trying to decide which ones to add in. The florals have got absolutely nothing to do with the photo, but I just wanted to make a bit more of a feature of the little stamp down the bottom, so I thought that would be a nice way to do it without adding any more enamel dots. Now I've got 2 more photos that I want to work on, and this stamp says, I think something along the lines of what's the best that could happen. And this photo is definitely the best that could happen. We went on a bit of a shopping spree and bought all our favourite goodies while my sister was here, so that was definitely the best thing that could have happened. And just to add a bit more colour to it, I'm going to add that half circle at the bottom just to bring the pink into the left side of my spread a little bit more. And then one last stamp on this last photo, this glass half full stamp. I mean, the name of the kit, but also my favourite stamp in there. I try to look at life that way. It doesn't always work, I can tell you, but this kit's full of such inspirational sayings, stamps, cards. I just couldn't help but love it. And with that, I call my page done. Don't forget to check out the link down below if you want to grab your own glass half full kit. I suggest you go quickly, these ones are going to sell out fast. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye!